Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to do a review of my Slater Omni. Now I have a 5'7" Omni at 30.8 liters. I am 5'10" and a half and I weigh around 170 pounds. I'm 44 years old and I've only been shortboarding for around 3 years now. I consider myself a pretty solid intermediate surfer who occasionally does some really kooky things on the wave face. Now I have this board a little bit over volumed for my weight, but I also use this throughout the winter when I'm wearing up to 15 pounds of wet rubber. And the first thing I will comment on about this board, other than the fact that it needs a steep wave that has punch, is that this board paddles extremely well, better than any of my other shorter boards. And it's deceptive in that you can catch waves on this board that the board doesn't really ride all that well. You can get yourself into a gross, slopey, grovelly wave, but when you stand up, it does kind of bog down a little bit due to that pulled-in tail with less surface area. Now, where this board shines is on late drop-ins, steep walls, and it's really got a snappy hook when you put your foot back and try to bring it around. And one of the things that I've been working on over this fall and summer is taking my cutbacks to the next level and actually trying to do a proper roundhouse. Now today was a little challenging because you weren't sure when you came around from your roundhouse attempt if you were going to be facing a dumping bottomless wave or if you would have a shoulder with a nice bit of foam on it that you could push off of. I got kind of close, but honestly I didn't really pull any proper roundhouses during today's session. Another thing I've been working on and what this board is very good at is barrels. Now I've gotten a few good barrels on this board in the past. This is not an example of one. I think I got a little excited and crouched down a little too low. Hand that was never going anywhere. But today just really didn't have many open barrels to choose from. But again, this board feels so confident when you take off late. That rail just sticks in the side of the wave. I have a medium set of quad fins on right now, and I like that better than the tri-fin, at least as far as late takeoffs and feeling like I have a lot of stability on a steep face. Now when you're paddling this board around, when you're duck diving, you do need to remember to push up a little bit higher with your hands than you normally would, because that nose can be a little bit deceptive. But you pay off for that by when you come up in sudsy water, or if you're trying to gather yourself after you've come down in all the white water, it's really easy to get this board under your chest and start planing out on your paddle again, whereas sometimes I struggle to get my positioning right on my boards that have a regular nose. So I think the only reason this board is not seen in the professional world is that judges just like to see a longer short board when they're looking at a wave. In reality, you really don't need the nose for any reason, and I don't feel like there is any difference or any loss of performance as far as being able to handle the steep wall of the wave. There's plenty of rocker up in that nose to allow for those late takeoffs without purling. Overall, this is a really, really good board. It's survived a lot of gnarly wipeouts. I have hardly any foot dents on it. It's a little pricey, but you have to bear in mind the way Firewire builds boards, they build them to last. So you don't end up with a board that only lasts for a season or two. It'll last for 5 to 7 years if you take care of it well. So with that, I'm hoping we have this swell stick around for a little while. If we do, and I get a chance to take the camera out, I'll post up another video shortly. Until then, if you like this, please subscribe, hit that like button, and hopefully we'll see you out in the water.